Hi, I'm Rachel King. Welcome to my channel. This week is all about the autumn-winter trends for autumn-winter 2024. I've done a bit of homework, I've done a bit of online research, looked in magazines, and yesterday I actually went into London's West End to have a look at the shops. So I'm going to talk through the shops. It's about 5 minutes. And then I've got a couple of magazines I'm just going to flick through and show you. They're the September issues, which are obviously the most important at the beginning of the season. And then I've chosen, I think, 18 patterns. I've picked up on 6 trends. It's not exhaustive. I've just sort of gone for things that I think that I like and I think maybe you would like as well. And I will go through those towards the end of the video, so keep watching. So I headed into the West End and I started at Selfridges at the top end of Oxford Street, and this is just me walking round, and it's the order in which I went round the stalls, really, to be honest. So I made my way up to the 2nd floor, which is where the designer collections, all the sort of the top end collections, and I also went to the 3rd floor, which is more contemporary. So you've got a mix of high, mid, and then later on there's some of the other end of the market. So starting off with a bit of Rabanne, a bit of glitter here, and then moving on to Bottega Veneta's shaggy jacket, which is absolutely beautiful. And this look is, it repeats everywhere. Leopard print, this is from Azzedine Alaïa, and this is knitted jacquard. Now, big coats, you'll see lots and lots of big coats, lots and lots of tweed. You'll see things which will come up over and over and over again, and tailoring is quite a key trend. Big trousers, lots of pinstripes. This coat is beautiful. It's by, I think, a Chinese designer in a paisley, and it's padded. It's just absolutely stunning. It's from some Dries Van Noten, a bit more of him later in Liberty. Love the combination of the embellishment and the checked trousers. Prints from Zimmermann, a lot of really nice autumnal prints around. And on the right, this dress is actually from Etro, and I think it's a jersey. Boho, a bit of Chloe Boho, I couldn't leave this out. In contrast, there's some sort of sober suiting from Armani, and then some slightly more contemporary suiting from Joseph, which I love, one of my favourite labels. And Garni, leopard print, which has become their signature, dotted amongst their collection. More pinstripes, and then sort of more of a Sloaney look, a sort of country house Sloaney look. This is from Me and M, burgundy, oxblood, whatever you want to call it, big trend. Ralph Lauren plaids, they're really quite big, as are the whole wax jacket thing. This isn't a wax jacket, but it's a Barber style. You'll see later. I then went to Zara, and the window displays were nice, bit of boho, bit of ladylike dressing, but it was a bit chaotic in there, and I found another one of those very shaggy jackets like I saw in Selfridges. A lot of outerwear. It's so dominated by outerwear this season. Sort of tweedy, slouchy, oversized coats, nice wool tailored jackets. Again, a bit of animal print, leopard print, edge to edge fur jacket, which is actually really cute from Zara. And this, I like this. It's a kind of a bias cut plaid shirt dress, really quite long. On to Anthropologie, knitted window display, so cute. Nice double-breasted tweed, checked tweed blazer, wax jacket, coat rather, in Anthropologie again, and quite strong and surprisingly on boho, with some really lovely blouses, very pretty. Some more leopard print. It's quite a cute dress. It had a sort of elasticated waist and a leopard print hoodie, which I thought was really nice actually. I might copy that idea. And more coating and checked this time, and more leopard print, a nice shawl collar. And if you're wondering how their live wall is at Anthropologie in Regent Street, it's just fine. I checked it out and it's still going strong there. Then I had a quick duck into And Other Stories. Loved this print, thought it was beautiful. This coat is quite interesting, another big shape in a sort of a faux fur Some more interesting prints in there. These sort of Crombie style coats, big coats, wrap coats as well. You can see here, very sort of oversized and unstructured too. And also a nod to the boho look in their main display there. This is mango, quite big on burgundy or oxblood in mango, which was they had some really nice pieces in mango actually. And this deconstructed tailoring on the left was particularly interesting. On to Liberty. Very much dominated by print. This is from Erdem, some really nice dark ground autumnal winter prints from them. Really pretty. This was La Double J upstairs. Really lovely signature print, just borders and very bold. Oh, this is Dries van Noten again. These prints are from Etro. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Beautiful silhouettes. And of course Farm Rio with a bit of their a signature sort of bold prints and also a bit of animal print in there. And in the middle, they're doing a collaboration or promotion with Cézanne, the French label, and they've got this massive installation with massive scissors and threads and a mannequin. I thought I'd show you that because I thought you might like it. I thought that was really quite interesting. So that's my whirlwind trip around the shops. So I just wanted to take a flick through the September issue of Vogue because it is the issue at the beginning of the autumn-winter season, and I have marked the pages. So you've got, to start off, you've got Gucci with a sort of oversized coats here and these sort of very neutral tones, which have really set a theme through the stores. And I've marked these really carefully and I can't find the markers. This one, now I picked up on a catwalk story that I didn't really see too much in the shops, which was variations on the dinner jacket or le smoking, as it's called, made famous by Yves Saint Laurent. So that's something I'm going to pick up on with the patterns. And this is from Loe, and it's a really beautiful long tuxedo style dinner jacket shape, which I think is incredibly elegant. More on that later. Leopard print, this is from Michael Kors. It looks like could be pony skin. It also could be a drill. I'm not quite sure. And then moving on to Max Mara. Oh, they had such amazing things in their collection for this winter. And these big wrap coats and the big wide trousers and the jackets. And this skirt, I don't know if you can see, it's a bit shiny. It's like a sort of faux wrap skirt. I want to make one. I want to make one in sort of like really fine pleather or leatherette. So if anybody knows of a pattern that will do that job, let me know. Otherwise, I think I'm going to have to cut my own pattern because I really want that shape. This is from Sport Max, which is kind of the little sister brand to Max Mara, which is a bit more edgy with this kind of deconstructed tailoring and exaggerated shoulder idea, which I thought was quite nice. And then if I can find the right page, bear with me. Here it is. So this is a new designer called Laura Andreskico, I hope I've pronounced it correctly. And this for the whole wax jacket thing is sort of very sort of hot at the moment, very sort of Sloane Ranger Country weekend. And she's done a really interesting take on it. So she's got this very sort of long, slim silhouette, big shoulders, exaggerated sleeve heads, but she's kept the elements, you know, the fabric, the studs, the corduroy collar, and this sort of slightly distressed look, like somebody's been, you know, it's been seen lots of activity. But I thought that was really interesting. And last but no means least in this issue, this page, well, two things here. This is from Dior, a really sweet little Mac with this kind of like black contrast trimming. And then this is everywhere. There were lots of really big over the top shaggy coats, which I think I mentioned them in the shop report anyway. So that was another look that I thought was really interesting. So that was Vogue's take on the autumn winter trends. So September issue of Elle magazine. These are UK issues, by the way. Prada, ladylike dressing, lots of twin sets, colour blocked, colour contrast twin sets. From Fendi, this is a really great example of that sort of Oxford burgundy look with yellow contrast, but also with the gold jewellery. I just love that shade of deep, deep red. I've actually got one accessory. I've got a handbag in that colour, but I need to up my game, I think, there. I've done a huge article on Boho called Bohemian Rhapsody. And saying it's made a comeback for this season. Highland Fling, this just really highlights all the plaids that have been in the collections this year that you can see here, which I also picked up, and I think I picked up on the Ralph Lauren coordinates in store. Shades of grey, shades of pale, it's called, with cream, beige and grey, and these colours really did dominate in store, to be honest with you. It was really quite noticeable when I was walking around the stores. This is lovely, this tweed. It's kind of slightly unstructured, isn't it? So, and a sort of a really sort of chunky tweed, and this is by Laura Piano. That jacket is £5,000, by the way. Gosh, quite a lot of money. And then there's just a feature here on Scene Stealers. This is by Celine. Just amazing. It's like a big furry sort of pom-pom, isn't it? Incredible. And this whole story is all about that sort of look. And here you've got, again, I mean, I showed you, I think, a jacket in the Bottega Veneta jacket in Selfridges, and there was the jacket in Zara, which quite pared down. And this is from Michael Kors. That's an £8,000 coat. Gosh, eye-watering, eh? And then this one, finally, from 16 Arlington, which is big, shaggy, furry number. So there are a few interesting looks in Vogue and Elle magazine. I hope you found that interesting. So I am now going to try and go through in one go the 18 patterns that I've chosen to show you for interpreting the trends for this winter. They're designed to be real clothes that you'd actually wear. Are things that I would make. There's no way I'm going to make all of them. I might make one or two perhaps if I've got time. So I wanted to choose things that were wearable, realistic and practical. There are varying degrees of complexity. Some of them are sort of easy things to make and some of them are more complex. I mean, you can tell by looking at most of them whether they're going to be straightforward or not. There is quite a lot of tailoring, which normally is a bit of more involved on the sewing front. Anyway, so let's start with tailored the new proportions. It's what I've called the story. And this first garment is from Vicky Sews, and that's the Adriana jacket. And I've chosen it because it's exaggerated. It's a classic shape, but it's very exaggerated. It's got I reckon the shoulder's extended, and it's quite loose and quite wide, which is a very, very key look for this winter. It's got shoulder pads, it's got a centre back vent, it's fully lined, and it's got a two-piece sleeve, and it's got a welt at the top and then welt pockets with flaps lower as well. I like this shape. I definitely think that's something that I would probably wear. A slightly more fitted version, this is from Vogue, the V1927 double-breasted jacket, and you can see it here in a check tweed, which is bang on trend, as you can tell from the shop report that I did. It's quite long, it goes right over your bum, sort of past your hips. I think it's a absolute classic shape, and if I was in the market for a classic double-breasted jacket, I think this would be the one that I would choose. Trousers to go with, wide leg trousers were everywhere. I think there was some shots of Dries Van Noten trouser that you saw with a jacket a bit like this, and then with a short jacket as well. Wide leg trousers. So I've chosen these trousers from Bella Loves Patterns. Excuse me looking at my screen behind the camera to remind myself what they look like. Okay, so wide leg. fitted into the waist. They've got some waist arts and pleats, creases front and back, a back pocket, side pockets as well, and an invisible hem. Again, if you made the Vogue jacket and those trousers together as coordinates, I think that would make a great suit or coordinated outfit. And then just wanted to find a slightly exaggerated coat, and I found another one from I think this is from Vicky So's, the Married or Marred coat rather, and it's double-breasted, and it's got, you can see by the photographs that the model is wearing it, is the shoulders are most definitely extended with shoulder pads, so it's really quite exaggerated. It's also belted, it's got flat pockets, classic double-breasted, and it's got princess seams and darts and a top welt pocket as well. I know it's in leopard print, but you could imagine that in a lovely tweed or a wool. Okay, so that's the tailoring trend. The second trend is kind of a mixture of Highland Fling, Sloane Ranger and Country House Weekend all together. And I have to make no apologies for the fact that this is dominated, this whole trends video is really dominated by outerwear, because that's how I found it in the stores. It really was dominating it. It was dominating the stores, and I am going to do an occasion wear, autumn, winter, Christmas occasion wear video later on. Not yet, so I'm kind of, there were things that I could have talked about, but I thought I'd save that at this point in the season. So it's all about wax jackets, tweeds, scarf coats as well. And I'll just talk about the first one from Grasser, and this is the 1156, and this is their waxed, their take on the classic wax jacket. Sorry, me looking away like this. Seamed, it's got the big pockets, it's got the popper stud fastening, and it's a wax cotton, and it's got the contrast collar, which you could do in velvet or you could do in corduroy. You know, like how Barber jackets have that, they always have a corduroy collar, and it's lined as well. And it's in a huge, I think it's in about 10 sizes, and they have 6 height variations as well. And it's again, that's a PDF, as most of these are. Okay, and moving on to a pattern from Vicky So's. So this is a soft dropped shoulder slouch wrap coat. Again, a bit oversized. It's yes, it is double breasted, and it's got a waist tie. I think it's actually fastened with poppers, so you don't see them. If you look at the line drawing, you don't see buttonholes, but it's got poppers which should be underneath on the front and on the top of the underside, if you know what I mean, if that makes sense. I thought this is a particularly elegant shape, and easy and slouchy, but not too exaggerated. And then lots of these scarf jackets around. I know it's not new, but they're very much still there. Now this one from, it's my piece of paper, from the Starlight Wren jacket, this scarf is actually not attached, which I think makes it more versatile. And they're, you know, obviously as an optional extra, you could do the blanket stitching on it, which I think is a particularly nice feature. And it's got these big patch pockets as well. Okay, moving on to my favorite theme is Le Smoking, which is really all about the tuxedo jacket. I did struggle to find some really good patterns, but I only found 2, both of which are very nice. The first one is from Stylark, and it's called the Brawny Tuxedo Jacket, which is quite neat, quite short, slightly, well, not cropped exactly, but it's just on the hips, below the hips, I would say. It's got flat pockets, a shawl collar, which you can do in a contrasting satin, which I thought was particularly nice. And then this one from Etsy, it's from Studio of Art Patterns. Now, On the right side, you can see this photograph of this coat from Coat Dress from Brioni, which I absolutely love. And I thought, there's no way I'll ever find a pattern like this. And I think this is a pretty good version, to be honest with you. And it is something I'd like to make for myself. But I've still got to make my Chanel jacket, which is still in the works. So I can't take on too much. I have to be realistic, and this will be quite a long project, I imagine. It's double-breasted, lined, shoulder pads, centre back seam with a vent, two-piece sleeve, front darts. It's all going on there. So I think that would probably be quite a challenging make for me, although I would really like to tackle it. Okay, vintage leopard. I really love this theme. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I love a bit of leopard print. I know not everybody does, so just bear with me. We'll be moving on to something else quite soon. Okay, so I've picked 3 shapes potentially for vintage leopard. The first one is a fur jacket. So I'm sorry that the photograph is actually in green fur, but you can imagine it. I'm sure you can all imagine it in leopard print. And it's really neat, it's really cute, and it's got a zip front fastening, and it's fully lined. And I just thought that would be a really cute casual garment for the winter. Secondly, I think this one's probably a bit Marmite. I wanted to choose a blouse that you might make in a sort of, I don't know, maybe a chiffon or a georgette and an animal print. And this is a vintage Vogue pattern, V1980, which I really like. It's got a centre back opening, and it's got this, it's very 80s, I think. It's got this asymmetrical pleat detail, and this also has got a collar, optional collar, and this kind of attachment on the shoulder, which I'd probably do without. I think if I was going to make it for myself, I'd probably make version A at the top with a long sleeve and without the attachment on the shoulder. I actually think it's quite interesting, but it's probably not. It was probably a bit Marmite, that one. Not everybody's cup of tea. And then finally, because I bought some leopard print drill last week, if you've seen my Stitching and Knitting Festival video, you'll remember perhaps I bought some leopard print drill from Rainbow Fabrics. If not, go and watch it after you watch this video. I'm in the market for a classic pair of jeans, so but I think that fabric is spoken for, because I think it's going to be a jacket, but I have to find some more anyway. But I think classic straight leg jean leopard print is the way to go. Right, okay, we're moving on to boho. As we saw in that article in Elle, it's made a resurgence for this autumn-winter season. And I've seen quite a lot of capes, actually, and coat capes that are sort of aren't really a coat, there aren't really a cape, if you know what I mean, in the stores. And I thought I would find a simple cape. And this one is from Our Lady of Leisure, and it's pretty minimal pattern. It's unlined, and it's apparently beginner friendly in sizes 6 to 16. So that's Our Lady of Leisure, and it's the Caribou Cape, which I thought would be quite cool. And this dress, I might have shown you this. I have shown it to you before because I bought the pattern recently, and it's beautiful. Apparently, after the last video, I had some comments, and it's based on an Aussie Clark dress, which doesn't surprise me at all. Vogue V1921, absolutely beautiful. I think that's a classic boho dress for me, anyway. And then finally, I just wanted to find a really simple like vest pattern that you could possibly layer. To do a bit of proper sort of boho dressing. I think if you know Sienna Miller in the sort of boho blouses and the sort of, they used to wear those sort of waistcoats and things. It was very much a look, wasn't it? So I found on Etsy, actually, it's really simple, and it's a bit garny with the tie front, a very, very simple tie front vest, and I think you could probably make that reversible as well, depending on the binding finish that you do. Okay, now last but no means least, there were a lot of winter prints in the stores which were absolutely beautiful, and you can see some of them here. Lots of dark grounds, lots of textural prints, sort of almost variations on camouflage. Really, really, really beautiful. So in my mind, prints like that would work really well in fairly sort of straightforward dresses. So I've gone for 3 midi dresses for sort of autumn winter prints, if you like. This first one, I have shown this to you before because I've bought this pattern. I think probably I would go for the sleeveless version on the right here, and I would probably miss out the fake pocket bag as well. It has got body seams on it, but if you've got some large scale prints, some interesting prints, you don't want to cut it about too much. And I think this Vogue pattern V2045 would be absolutely perfect. And then this is from Grosser, a slightly easier silhouette with this fitted bodice and full skirt and long sleeves, or sleeveless, or I suppose you could make it short sleeves as well. But it's got a drop waist on it, and I think that's quite flattering on most people, and it's kind of got that elongating look. I thought that was very nice. So that's the Grosser 1050. And finally, this lovely, lovely dress from Vicky So's, the Evian dress. And it's got I think it's a bias cut skirt, long sleeves, and the bodice is gathered at the waist into the skirt. I thought that could be really, really elegant. Maybe sort of, if you were going somewhere posh in the day, in a beautiful print, I think that could be really lovely. So that's it. That's my trends video that I've been promising for quite a while. I really hope you enjoyed it. I have to be absolutely honest, when I went to the shops yesterday, I was a bit underwhelmed. And do you know what? I don't know what you tell me what you think of this. I think at the moment, because there's so much going on in the world, it's so awful. Everything seems quite sober, appropriately, I think, perhaps, because I looked at the catwalk trends before I went actually shopping, and the trends actually in store, especially in the sort of the lower end or the mid to lower end, didn't really reflect everything that I saw on the catwalks. And I definitely think it's a combination of things, you know, cost of living crisis, all sorts of political awful things going on in the world. And sorry to get too serious, but yeah, I was quite underwhelmed and quite came home not feeling very enthusiastic about this, you know, about the trends. But you know, I promised I would do this video, and I have enjoyed putting it together, and I hope you've enjoyed it too. And tell me your thoughts. Have you made any of these patterns? How did they work out for you? Are there any other patterns that you know that would fit into the themes? Especially for the smoking jacket, the tuxedo jacket, because I really struggled to find good patterns, and also for the wax jacket as well. If you know any other patterns that might fit into those themes, it would be brilliant to know. Anyway, as I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will be back next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.